Hello and welcome to OzChris vs. Marvel Comics for week 2 of November, here with the reviews of Fallen Angels #1 and X-Men #2. Beforehand, it was during one of my weeks I was sick, so I didn't properly review X-Men #1. In summary, interesting premise, but very average issue, very average art, very average cover, if I recall correctly. I did a rating on Twitter, but who cares? But okay, let's start with the new one, the best of these two, Fallen Angels #1. Move over here. So written by Brian Hill, art by why do people not have it's just simple names? Simon Krudansky. There's a Z in there, so it's probably not correct that I pronounced it like that. Frank Diamata for the coloring. That was Krudansky for the artist, and the cover by Ashley Witter. So Psylocke, Quanon, the other half, now that Betsy and Quanon are now back to being two separate people, she is given this kind of telepathic psychic message warning her of someone called Apoth that's going to be a huge threat to everyone, and wants Quanon to go to Tokyo to deal with Apoth. So after talking with Magneto, who sends her to Sinister for help, she recruits Cable, Kid Cable and X-23 to help figure out who Apoth is. They find out Apoth has been using children for his or her cause. One of them seems to be Quanon's daughter. So there's now more personal stake with going on with her for to deal with Apoth, and I'll leave it there. I don't want to spoil anymore. So story, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. Of these Dawn of X titles, this is the one that's actually got me very interested. A lot of the stuff has just been average, above average, but this one, I like what I read, and I definitely want to read more. I didn't want to go into it being biased because Brian Hill is doing amazing work with, Batman and the Outsiders, his work that he did in Detective Comics. He's a great writer, and I didn't want to go into biased viewing of this comic. I went in with a blank slate. Let's see how it goes, because not everything he writes is to my taste. American Carnage was a thing. I didn't particularly like that, but I will say Fallen Angels, definite recommend from me. Definitely good. So 4 out of 5 for that one. The art and the coloring, I'm gonna give a 4 out of 5 for that as well. Krudansky's art and Diamata's coloring really work well together to give this kind of how would I say this, a kind of mystery assassin tale thing going on. I'm still recovering from sickness, so I'm not good with the big words at the moment, or best at describing stuff, but I really did like the art and coloring here, so 4 out of 5 for that. And the cover, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5 for that. A good art, good coloring on the cover. And on to X-Men #2, Hicksmen. Written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Lionel Francis Yu, coloring by Sonny Yo, and the cover by Yu and Yo. So, Cyclops, Prestige and Cable. So Scott, Rachel, and Kid Cable, Kid Nate, whatever. They get word that Krakoa has found this mysterious island and is racing toward it. The entire island of Krakoa is racing towards this random island for some reason. So Cyclops gets his 2 alternate future kids together to deal with this island. There is something definitely going on there. A summoner is on the island with all these weird looking creatures. Kid Cable has this dumb idea of giving the summoner a thermal grenade as a gift, which it activates and blows up in front of them, so they get attacked by the monster. But oddly enough, there's a reason why Krakoa was heading towards this island. I'm not going to say why. It was really weird why, but you'll have to figure it out for yourself. So story, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It's very average. I will say, in theory and in concept, I do like that it's just it seems to be these one-off so far with these issues, these one-off stories back to, like the days of old where an issue of a Marvel comic would be its own separate issue. It wouldn't take 5 issues to finish one story. It would just be the single issue itself. So this is kind of just standalone by itself, but it's kind of average. I wasn't particularly interested. Didn't particularly like how Rachel and Kid Cable were written, like especially Kid Cable being like extremely reckless. This is the person who he killed his older self for failing to uphold his duties as a protector of time and all that. And he's just like, hey, let me give this random being a fucking grenade as a gift. I hope they don't press it. I hope they don't press. Oh, they pressed it. Oh, who would have thought that giving a grenade to a person would be a good idea? I really just don't like how they were written, especially with Kid Cable. I know he's supposed to be young. He's not supposed to be as mature as regular Cable, but I wouldn't say, like, having read the character in Extermination and at least the first arc of X-Force, he's not supposed to be like this reckless. Although, for real, a lot of these characters in the Hickman stuff are, Dawn of X are weirdly written out of character for some reason. So, still holding on to my whole clone theory. The real ones are actually trapped somewhere else. They never really left. Nate Gray's like Future Paradise, the Age of X-Man stuff, whatever it was. Because everyone is weirdly written in here. Art and coloring, I'm gonna give a 3 out of 5 as well. I think it was very, very average art and coloring, and the cover was actually really the only good thing of this. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I think the art and coloring here is leagues better than what was inside. And weird thing is, it's the same artist and colorist on the cover as it is in the interior, but the interior stuff does not look as good as this. This looks 10 times more better than what we got inside. And I think for me, I'll think about it, but I think this is going to be the end for me for X-Men. Like, I don't think Hickman has an idea or a clue what their purpose is. Like, all like Fallen Angels, X-Force, New Mutants and all that, they have a purpose. Like, it's very obvious what their purpose is. X-Force is the covert stuff, both like in physical warfare and through like secret, tech, hacking and all that, yada, 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 intelligence and all that. Fallen Angels, Psylocke has her own team to deal with Apoth. You have the New Mutants going out into space doing their own thing. Excalibur and all protecting, trying to free Avalon and all that. Marauders bringing mutants back into bring mutants into Krakoa through a different means if the usual portal means is unavailable to them for various different reasons. But which is supposed to be the main book, X-Men, it feels like Hickman has no idea what their purpose is. They're just kind of there. And given this whole new peaceful mutant society, I don't feel like you could do some good stuff with X-Men. The other stuff, whether you liked it or not, you can. But this main title was just the Summers family featuring Wolverine. Like, what's there to do if this is supposed to be like a peaceful paradise society, and all the other stuff is being done by other groups, and even the same members that are in this are off doing other stuff. Kid Cable's is in Fallen Angels, Wolverine is in X-Force, so is Jean. Like, everyone's in different teams doing other stuff, but in the X-Men, no clue what they're doing. Like, what is their purpose for being the X-Men again? There really isn't. So I'm very given how much I liked House and Powers of X, I'm very disappointed with what X-Men is. So that is it for those two. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to follow me on social media, my Twitter and Instagram handles are in the outro. And I will see you all in the next one.